Hello and welcome back to this course of videos on node.js and Express. Now in this video we're just going to finish off talking about Mongo. If you recall, previously we dealt with this user login functionality here by faking a database request. So you can see here the app.post to the root URL. And we mimicked a database request. We simply created this JavaScript object and then stringified it and sent it back on the response stream. So I've replaced that with some actual code, which I will walk you through, which is here. So again, we're doing the app.post to the /, that's all the same. Here's a difference where we are using our Mongo client and our connect method, as we did in the previous video, passing the URL, which we can see is our URL is here, which is localhost, which is the server our MongoDB is residing on, the port, and this is the name of the collection. So to carry on down the code, this is all stuff you've seen before. If there was an error, we send back we're sending a string to the client. But we're including this string within a JavaScript object, and then we are stringifying this JavaScript object. This is the way. You could just do a res.send and put text in here. However, you'll see later why I don't do that and why instead I choose to embed the message that we're going to alert to the client in a JavaScript object. So that's what we do if there is an error connecting. Otherwise, we just console.log. And then we reference our collection, which is called users. So we're just storing that in this variable here. Again, as per usual, I should change this to ES6 syntax. I make that a constant. Constant or let is ES6 as opposed to var. And then as previous, where we are seeing if the username exists with the find method on the collection object. We're passing in a key value pair. The key is username. The value is the username from the body of the request that was posted, which the user would post in here via AJAX request. To array, exactly as we did before, and again we have an if statement. If there's an error, again we do the same message to the user as we did if there was a connection error. Else, if we do actually if our DB results is actually we do actually get something contained in the array, so if the length is greater than 0, then we're just sending back the object that Mongo is returning to us, which is going to be the username and the first and last name of the user. And again, if this fails, we are saying, sorry, if the Mongo doesn't return anything, so basically if it's not an error and it's not an actual DB result, then otherwise nothing has been returned, so we're going to send back this message to the user on the response stream. So just to take a quick look at the main.js, where we're receiving, here's our AJAX request that we're doing, which is being sent obviously from here. Now the only really thing that's changed is previously we were simply parsing the data that was coming back, the fake data, and then we were running our update page. However, now what we've added in, as you saw previously, we want to notify the users if any of these issues happen. And so the way that we're doing that is we're saying if the object that's returned after we've passed our JSON object, if the object that returned has an error property, then we're going to alert the value of that error property. So again, go back to here, you can see anytime when I have an error, my res.send, I'm sending through a JavaScript object, and the key is always error. You can see for here, here, and here. So I'm saying in my JavaScript on the success handler, if the object that's returned does have an error property, then alert it. If not, then I just do what I was doing previously, running my update page function, submitting my JavaScript object here, and if you remember, the update page function is down here somewhere, and it simply takes the username, first name and last name and submits it into these spans to update the page. So let's just test this out. So we can see that, if you remember from the previous videos, I had two usernames that I registered, James1, which was James Murphy, and if I run this you'll see James1, hello James Murphy. Now we had James11 username registered, which was James Manning. So we run that and we can see that works. Now if I didn't have a James11, so if I submit this, then my alert comes back saying username does not exist in database, which was basically username does not exist in database here was passed through on the response object. So that's the end of MongoDB. In future videos, we are going to look at things called WebSockets, which is going to enable us to do a real-time chat application. Basically to add, we're going to start utilizing this piece here and create this chat application. So I look forward to seeing you then.